and their parents who have logged in on their behalf. The most awaited event of July by Bangalore School of Design and Technology is going to kickstart in a couple of seconds. A quick do's and don'ts, gentle reminders to follow webinar etiquettes. Kindly mute yourself. You're free to turn off your web camera if you wish to, but we will be delighted to see you though. Don't worry about jotting down some information immediately since we'll be sending you the recording of the session. During the interactive Q&A session towards the later part of the program, kindly raise your hand, unmute yourself, and ask the speaker the questions directly, or just drop in your questions, doubts, etc. in the chat box, and I will put them across to the speaker. Kindly refrain from asking questions about the admission process, fee structure, class timings, etc., as the admission department will be helping you with that. We've got a surprise for you at the end of the session, so stay tuned till the end to know what is it. Thank you for taking your time out to be a part of this webinar on Unleashing the Future for Careers in Technology. Well, IT professionals are here to stay. With the IT boom, recession, whatever the reasons may be, BCA and BSc degree courses are the fastest tickets towards a global career in the IT sector. There are multiple opportunities today, and newer opportunities crop up every single day with the evolution of the IT industry. These are one of the most sought after courses in the IT domain, and tech space is the survival space, to be precise. BCA and BSc courses have the potential to catapult your career to newer heights, and with the advancement of new technologies such as AI, ML, cloud computing, data science, UI, UX, cybersecurity, game design, the list is endless. The scope of this field has grown by leaps and bounds. There are plethora of job opportunities, both in India as well as abroad, as these courses are the backbone for all the other industries. Apart from IT and software industries, BCA and BSc graduates can make their careers even in banking, finance, retail, healthcare, travel and tourism, hospitality, the list goes on and on. Bangalore School of Design and Technology. Who are we and what do we do? Bangalore School of Design and Technology was founded to educate students to achieve excellence by articulating their imagination. BSDT is a college under Bangalore School of Design Education Trust devoted to design and tech environment. Bangalore School of Design and Technology has been a catalyst for the success of students across creative industries. Our mission: Bangalore School of Design and Technology prepares aspiring students and working professionals to be leaders in the field by providing a focused and immersive education, drawing upon expert faculty, innovative approaches, and close industry relationships. And what's our vision? Bangalore School of Design and Technology's vision is to be a global leader in design education, impacting the profession through innovative curricula and strategic collaborations with graduates placed in positions of influence around the world. So, without any further ado, let's start this webinar by introducing our key speaker. He will be throwing light on the intricacies of the program, the importance of the program, and the future prospects of it too. Good morning, Mr. Harish, and welcome to our webinar.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Good morning.
We are privileged to have Mr. Harish Narayan with us, Product Manager at Blue Jeans by Verizon in Bangalore. Mr. Harish will be talking about the growing need for professionals in UI UX design and AI ML technologies. Being in the tech industry for many years, Mr. Harish recognizes the value of upskilling and investing in talent development. So, he will be chalking out paths for you to tread on by providing relevant knowledge. Now, let's take a sneak peek into our programs. We offer BSc Computer Science and BCA Bachelor of Computer Application. Both these courses are affiliated under Bangalore North University, which gives credibility to the curriculum and market worth to the students. BSc Computer Science, a 3 year program. BSc Computer Science also comes in with add on courses like AI and ML, Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, 2. Cloud Computing, 3. Cybersecurity. And these are the programming languages and software tools which the students will be learning in the entire 3 years. BCA, Bachelor's of Computer Application, a 3 year program once again. This course also comes on with add on certifications which include UI and UX, that's user interface and user experience, data science, and finally, game design. And these are the programming languages and software tools which will be covered in the entire 3 years. Okay, now let's start our Q&A interactive session which everyone has been looking forward to. Okay, Mr. Harish.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Mr. Harish, good morning once again and welcome to our exclusive webinar called Unleashing Careers for Future Technology, sir. Thank you. Okay. Participants, we'll start with the first question. What is the future of technology? As a student looking for these courses, is it a perfect foundation? And where are we and where do you see the students going on from here, sir?
Yeah. As you might all have seen for yourselves, technology kind of improves in waves. And you would have all seen from your childhood days how technology has kind of impacted your lives. Some of us are old in here, and we've seen life without TVs, without computers. And slowly, as these things emerged, you've seen how it has made life simpler and more simpler. And as you see, some years ago, internet was pretty slow. You would have waited for things to load. You couldn't have seen videos. And now we are chatting live. I'm streaming from my home, and others are all at your own places. We can do it on video, and that's how technologies kind of improved in the last 10, 20 years, and this will continue to improve. And with the latest wave of AI ML technologies, what it's making is it's just making the internet more simpler to use. Just as a quick example in here, let's say you're Googling for something. Let's say you want to read about a movie, or you want to just read about a course that you're doing. As of now, you got to rely on yourself to do it in Google, for example. You can use any search engine for that matter. But let's just take a simple example. You go to Google, you read the reviews, you see the news, you see the trailers, and then you come to an opinion. With AI ML, what's happening is it's kind of even simplifying things. Chat GPT, for instance, you can just go ask Chat GPT, how is this movie? Or what does BSD's particular course on BCA or BSc is, and what are the reviews and stuff. Chat GPT just summarizes things for you. And obviously, the limitations would be on its training data. For example, ChatGPT kind of does not know things live. Like, I can't ask it about something that is happening right now. It can kind of give you good answers for things that happened or things that were in the internet a couple of years ago, and it's got a limit. But obviously, you can build things that are also live and can give you a summarized news or summarized information that you're looking for. And this kind of progress will continue to happen, not just in terms of chat gpt or Google. It is all across. It is about your speeds at which you browse the internet. It is about how quickly you can do things on the computing without relying on edge, like edge technology. You don't have to kind of rely on servers that are at specific geolocations in the world and stuff like that. So technology will continue to improve. That is kind of, you cannot discount that. The only thing I would say is, as you keep up with the technology and grow with it, you can use technology as your friend and kind of improve and simplify your lives going forward.
Yes, sir, exactly. That was a very good sentence. Make technology your friend. It will make our lives simpler and better. Students, please put in your questions in the chat box and I'll put it across to Mr. Harish. The next question is, how do these specializations help? And how do the students choose the right one? Because I started off, Mr. Harish, saying game design, cloud computing, UI, UX, data science. Can you just give us an insight into that, sir?
Yeah, just at a general level, specializations are more, instead of just think of specializations as areas of interest. There would be certain people who are interested in coding. There would be certain people who are interested in uh, exploring the creative side of things like UI, UX, or say gaming and stuff like that. So it's something that got to do with your core interests, and whatever excites you, get started with that. As a simple friend, my advice would be to not dwell too deep into these things, and just start with how your heart tells you to go forward with at this time. And as you progress in your career, these specializations become even more specialized. You would find out what exactly interests you, and go forward with that. The starting courses that you have in college are kind of at a generic level. It kind of gives you a foundation which can help you get started in the industry. And post that, as you grow in your career, you would obviously pick up areas of interest for you and kind of keep growing on top of it. So that's what I would say at a high level. And obviously every specialization has got its own pros and cons. It's up to you as an individual, based on your interests, based on what you feel about it, to take it up and go forward with it.
Okay. So, should the students choose the specializations based on self interest or the industry or the earning criteria, or what are the options available then?
To start off with, what I would say is choose it based on your interest areas. Let's say, in the worst case, you choose it based on the industry, and let's say you don't find it interesting. What's the matter? I mean, what's the point of doing all of that, right? So first, give priority to your interests. Industry and earnings are all secondary outcomes. As long as you're interested, you'll obviously do well in your career, in your life. It's a very simple thing. Sachin Tendulkar became Sachin Tendulkar because he pursued his passion for cricket, and that's what I would say. Interest is the first number one thing. At your age, sometimes it's hard to find out the interest. So what I would say is, go with an open mind, be open to learning, keep exploring things. Somewhere down the line you would find all your interests, but always prioritize learning and go forward with it at this age. And eventually you'll find your interest, you'll continue doing more and more of it, and success, earning, all of that will just be an outcome of that.
Yes, sir. Dear participants, we kindly encourage you to drop in your questions in the chat box. Please feel free to do that. We move on to the next question. What are the programming languages the students must focus on? And what about the software tools, Mr. Harish?
Yeah, on the programming languages, whatever is covered, I'm not sure of the exact programming languages that get covered as part of the course. Maybe one of you guys can answer that. But just from an industry perspective, what I would just add on is, as you guys start off right from college into the come into the industry, the expectation would be more on how quickly you guys can learn and kind of start doing things and become independent. So, with that said, the base level programming skills is what recruiters would be looking at from fresh out of college graduates. The basics, let's say it is like C, C++ in terms of coding languages. Let's say if it is UI UX design, it is about the design skills, proficiency with some of the tools like Figma or XD or stuff like that. If it is graphic design, it could be your Photoshop or Illustrator. So just focus on those basics. As long as the basics is right, you can pick up any other programming language. Programming languages are all, if you look at it from the sky level, they're all pretty much the same. It is just the syntax that varies in terms of programming languages. The basics remain pretty much the same in all programming languages. So focus on the basics, get it right, and then you can apply those learnings in any language that you have to code going forward.
Okay, yes. The next question, which everyone just wants to know, sir, what about the salary ranges? Can we have an insight into that? And what will be the entry level positions immediately after graduation? And what could be a 5 year growth?
Yeah. Is this specifically for BCA people getting into IT, or is this also for designers, graphic designers, and others?
Sir, it's basically for the BC and BSc students. It's not about the design
Okay.
students.
So, okay, as BSc and BCA graduates, you can expect to start off with software engineer roles in IT companies. IT companies come in multiple flavors, the main ones being your service companies, the likes of Infosys, Wipro, TCS, and others. And then you also have product companies, which is very varied in nature. Depending on where you start off, there is a entry level bracket. Roughly, if I can hazard a guess, the starting salaries would be around 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs. I'm just guessing in here. I'm not sure what exactly recruiters might offer. It all completely varies depending on their needs, when people are joining, how the market is, and stuff like that. So don't take this as a uh,
Standard package
standard
given.
package. It can definitely vary a lot. Uh, so that's something that you can expect to start off with. And on the trajectory post that, uh, I would say uh, it completely depends on the individual, how quickly you learn and go up the corporate ladder, as you say. So focus just on the learning in the initial parts of your career. If you can switch jobs, keep switching jobs. That would also help to increase your earning capabilities. But the core focus, again, as I always mention, should be on learning, picking up new skills, adapting those skills into your work, and kind of getting more and more better in your day-to-day execution of your jobs. So focus on that. All the other things would automatically get taken care of.
Okay, yes. The next one, can you do a quick comparison of BSc and BCA? Because some students are confused as to what exactly they should take and what is the similarity as well as the difference.
Okay. From my experience, BSc and BCA are in an industrial, like viewing it from the industry spectrum, right? Uh, it is more of entry level criteria that any organization looks for. The degrees are more to just showcase to the recruitment companies that, hey, here's a graduate. These graduates have done their uh, 10th, 12th, and then they've also completed a degree. What it means to the recruiter is that, okay, these graduates have a certain level of accomplishment. They can be trusted with doing XYZ amount of work. They have the basic foundations for XYZ skills that you need on the job. And that's what any of these degrees actually mean to a recruitment company. So at a high level, if I just look at it from an industry lens, these are all just qualifications or entry criteria for people to join into the workforce. So as you grow into your career, these things become less and less important. And when you are becoming experienced, frankly speaking, nobody looks at what your qualification is. They just start looking at what experiences you have, what have you kind of delivered on the job, what accomplishments, what problems you've solved, and how that experience can help you in the next job that they're evaluating you for. So that's what I would say. You can obviously start off. There are people who've started off with BSc, who started off with BCA and gone on to like the top management in different industries. So that way, any of these all courses are obviously of great quality, and it offers great learnings. So don't worry about which one's better than the other. What I would really, really encourage is that make the best of what you have,
Okay.
uh, and continue learning and keep that learning thing alive so that it will obviously help you throughout your life.
Okay. As of now. So the next question is, which course is most suitable for someone who's interested in technology but not in coding?
Okay. Outside of coding, I think the BCA course with UI UX is
Okay.
definitely something that is very interesting, and it also kind of throw some light into how you structure elements. It is UI UX is like kind of unescapable.
Okay.
We are right now in front of Google Meet. UI UX designers are the ones who design how Google Meet functions, what it shows you to you as a presenter, to you as an attendee, uh, to me as a participant, as I'm speaking. How does this work? Like you would be seeing all these thumbnails in front of you, how everything works. All of those designs are carried out by UI UX designers, and as a designer, you'd be working with wide varieties of stakeholders. You'd be designing a product or a service for a specific end user, so you'd be talking to those end users, understanding their needs. For example, in here, uh, in Google Meet, you have a presenter who's presenting the information, and you have the attendees who are listening to the information. And the presenter also needs some sort of feedback. That is where you have the videos. Presenter can see the attendees, they can see how the attendees are talking to each other, their facial expressions and stuff like that. Let's say I have a question in between somebody speaking. That's where you have the raise hand feature. Then you have the chat features. Chat can be utilized by all attendees to kind of uh, chat amongst themselves. Then you have the audio video options. You can mute video. There are various use cases why you have those controls. Then there is closed captions. For example, let's say I'm meeting with someone who doesn't speak my language. Then you have the closed captioning, which can give you those subtitle like experience which you've seen in movies. So that's how you as a UI UX designer will be adding value to any company that you work for. You work with the users, you understand what they're trying to achieve, and you kind of help them achieve by building those interfaces, by designing those interfaces. And you would also work with developers who would build this. Now that's where the BSc guys with coding experience come in, and they'll be developing what you guys as designers would be presenting to them. So outside of coding, there is a lot of value add that you can add as designers. And then there's also coding part, which obviously is for the developers, people interested with programming languages, who like to code things and build things. They can jump into it. Outside of these two as well, there are a lot of opportunities in the tech industry. You have sales functions, you have marketing functions, you have business development functions. You can potentially get into any of them. So in terms of jobs, in terms of value add, there is a huge spectrum of jobs that you can do. Coding is not the only thing that you can get started with outside of college. So just keep an open mind. You can add value in whatever interests or whatever areas that you're interested in. You can get into UI UX, you can get into marketing, you can also get into analytics, which is another upcoming field. uh, that is not completely bereft of coding. You will have some sort of coding like aggregating data, pulling the right data and insights, but that's very different from the traditional coding things that you would have seen. This involves analyzing large data sets of data. It could be on users, it could be on company metrics and stuff like that, and driving insights out of that, storing this data, uh, pulling the data as and when you require, analyzing it, getting insights out of it. So there is a lot of such things that you can do outside of coding and add values to company.
Okay. So thank you so much, because there were many students who wanted to know whether coding is involved or not. It was really enlightening, which we weren't aware of. Now let's move to the next section. How beneficial are these add-on certifications, sir? Because they say it's backed by IBM, Microsoft, all the other companies. So, what do you have to say about these backings, sir?
Yep, these certifications, which are backed by all the big companies that you are showing on screen right now,
Yes,
are
IBM,
definitely,
Oracle.
yeah, they are definitely like very, how do I say, likable, or things that you want to put on your resume. These are things that show the potential employer that, one, you're eager to learn, and you've kind of achieved these things. And some of these certifications are ways in which these companies by themselves kind of test and make sure that the candidates that they want have kind of learned the things that they want them to learn. So potentially, these certifications can give you a upper hand over someone who does not have it, and that's where these certifications are big value add. You can definitely claim it in bold letters in your resume, and they add a lot of value for you when you're facing interviews, and it kind of sets the benchmark or the baseline of the knowledge that you already possess when you are interviewing for specific roles.
Okay. And the final question, sir, we keep asking this over and over again. People want to know it, but people are scared of it. AI, is it just a trend, or how does it play a pivotal role in IT sectors? Because AI is here to stay. So the way you said, have a friendly relationship with technology, should AI also be our best friend then?
Yes, when internet came along, people said it wouldn't work, and now you can't stay without the internet. Likewise, computers was also the same thing. Every big wave or big new technology that comes also comes with its own detractors, as you say. Uh, some technologies are just unescapable, and with the amount of data that is just being generated and captured today, you just go onto any of the known websites, go to Facebook, or go to Instagram, YouTube, Google, any of those, name it, they capture a whole lot of data. And it's just unimaginable for us as an individual to just fathom how much of data they are capturing every second. And now all this data are not just captured and just kept for life. Somebody's got to work on that, and those are the transformational things that you see as Chat GPT, which can just give you about, as I talked in the earlier part, it can summarize things for you without you having to spend your own precious time doing that. And the use cases for AI and ML are just numerous. Uh, Nowadays, you just go to any website, instead of chatting with them, the website, take Swiggy for example. When you have an order and you start chatting, or you have a question about the order, there's no person sitting behind and actually answering to you. It is all computer generated. Swiggy knows that you ordered XYZ. It gets all the first level information using an AI ML bot that sits behind the chat interface that you see. It is not a specific person doing it. Once all this information is there, if the bot cannot answer it by itself, then it gets transferred to a human. So AI/ML kind of simplifies all this work. Instead of having 100 people answering questions to the thousand of people who keep ordering from Swiggy, you just have one bot which simplifies things, and you can just have 10 people working in the back end. So that's how powerful AI/ML is. And in my opinion, this is something that is here to stay, and it's got a lot of benefits to this. And so it completely depends on how you kind of accept it and roll with it. As I said, make it your friend, and your life becomes more simplified.
Yes, indeed. AI is going to simplify our lives in all possible ways. Okay, thank you so much, sir. We end this Q&A session, which was indeed enlightening. And thank you so much, sir, for answering all the questions. And we are actually running short of time because Mr. Harish Narayan has another meeting to attend at 12. So, all good things must come to an end, and this webinar is no different. I express my deep gratitude to Mr. Harish Narayan for being the key speaker for this webinar organized by Bangalore School of Design and Technology. Thank you, Mr. Harish, for accepting our invitation. Your presence meant a lot to us. Thank you once again, sir. Dear participants, it was indeed a pleasure to host all of you. I hope this webinar was very informative and educative. Thank you, dear participants. Now that we have met, got connected, and discussed, what are we going to do next? Hurry up. Our admission process is in the last stage. Reach out to our admission counselors to talk about the admission process, fee structure, etc. And the surprising factor, which I've mentioned at the beginning of the session, is you can avail exciting scholarships on these two courses, BSc and BCA, which are valid till 10th July. So there are limited seats. Get in touch with us to know more. Thank you once again. Bye, everybody. This is Dorothy, your moderator, signing off from this webinar, which was about unleashing the future for careers in technology, organized by Bangalore School of Design and Technology. Thank you, everybody.